Remember a couple months ago when I was on that TV show called This Time Next Year on Lifetime? One of the things that got edited out was that when I met my doppelganger, we exchanged t-shirts. I gave him one from Nashville about country music, and then he gave me this one with a bear on it. Fact. Alright, so this is definitely a video I'm making. It's 100% just real. This isn't a relevant video, meaning most people will not watch this video or care about it, because there's no part of this am I asking you to look at my hair, Norwood, or anything like that. We're not talking about rosemary oil, any of the things that trigger views. I just want to talk to you about what I'm sorting out. So obviously I'm in Sacramento and been here a full week now. And recently, one of my brothers-in-law showed up, Tom, good guy, and he is very intelligent. He's like me. His intelligence, not only is he's an engineer, but he also has because he manages so many people and oversees so many people, he's also very emotionally intelligent, which I am. And he is challenging me. He's helping me understand myself better. And I think it's important that I talk about that today. I feel like I can't make another hair loss video until I at least attempt to begin to unpack what he's challenged me on and what I'm learning about right now. So, of course, there's lots of personality tests out there to help you understand yourself better. Because I told Tom, I said, look, I tell my subscribers on my channel all the time that by default they reduce me to hair loss, and by default I reduce them to psychology. I find every human being on the planet very predictable by reducing them to psychology. You can figure out other people, know how to motivate them, know how to speak to them when you find out what motivates them and what their fears are. And I'm definitely the same way, and therefore I want to learn as much about myself so I can become the best version of myself. So we were talking about this, and there's this one personality test, I guess, called Enneagram or something like that. I guess you can look it up. I think it's just an E, though. Anyway, he and I both agreed that I'm a number one. And a number one personality in this test, in this personality concept, is that a number one personality, their fear is not that they won't be accepted or loved. It's that they have a fear that they won't be right. And when I first heard that, I said, but Tom, I have no interest in trying to convince people against what they believe. I said, think about the fact about me politically. I don't care about being a Democrat or Republican because I think the whole system's flawed. So, and I said with me being a vegan, I'm not trying to convince other people they should become a vegan. I definitely see it as the superior way, but I don't care if other people convert to my way of thinking. And so he was explaining to me that ultimately this thing about the fear of being wrong or something like that has more to do with you understanding things in very black and white terms as far as there always is a right and a wrong. So that helps me understand a little bit. I said, but Tom, I openly talk about the fact that I don't see myself as a good moral person, because the moment most people do. I think most people are foolish to believe that they want to say, but I'm a good person. Because the moment you say you're a good person and believe that in your heart, then you allow other people to emotionally affect you, because then you deserve to be treated better, right? And I don't want to ever be in that position. It would make me weak. And so I'm understanding the things that motivate me by ultimately things that I guess you could say are maybe my fears. So, and we've already seen this in my videos here recently, where I made it clear I don't care about hair loss, my own hair loss. I don't care about that. But some things I do care about, I don't want to be misunderstood, because I know that one of my skills and abilities is communication. So if I'm saying a message to 4,400 subscribers about hair loss and saying I don't care about it, and then there's still people who regularly think that I do, well, that's me being misunderstood. That's, if anything's an attack on my identity, that's it, because I don't care about hair loss, but I do care about, I guess to some degree, that everyone is on the same page here, that there's an irony involved in which a guy who is marginally balding, doesn't care about hair loss, and therefore he has the ability with confidence to teach others to overcome it. See, that's important to my identity. So going back to this concept, so we looked at the personalities. We looked at my wife's. My wife is the number 2 in this personality thing, this Enneagram thing. And her fear is that she will not be loved or accepted. Now, granted, she's 9 of 10 kids. So she was explaining that in her household growing up, it was like you had to earn love and attention and all these things. You know, for me, it was never that way. I was the firstborn of a family. I had a younger sister, but I never felt that I had to earn anyone's love or attention. And I think that helps me learn for me as the host of this channel and for all my subscribers, it helps me understand the differentiation there. Because I'm a person who is not motivated by the fear of not being loved or accepted. My personality type is, who cares about being loved and accepted? If someone really loves and accepts me, it'll all work out. I don't need friends. I don't need people singing my praise. Basically, I'm going to do my own thing. And if somebody follows me and joins me in the discussion, great, glad you're here. But I'm not going to beg anybody. And I think that even goes to the fact that psychologically, I tend not to ask people to subscribe to my channel because I'm thinking, it's a free market. I'm a libertarian. If you want to subscribe, you will. You don't need me to talk to you and tell you that. And if I have to ask you, then that's probably the person I don't want following me anyway, because the moment I say something they disagree with, they'll act like a baby about it. So truly, I'm not motivated by trying to earn anyone's love or needing friends. I'm okay being alone. It's fine by me. I feel comfortable by myself and being alone, and it's fine. But I think so many people have the need to feel accepted by other people. And then when you have somebody like me who's not that way, you can understand psychologically why something like hair loss is not going to bother a guy like me, because I'm not trying to win anyone's acceptance. I'm going to do whatever I want to do because I'm Nick Shell, and therefore my motivations are completely different from other people. I think in my journey of life, as you all know, with me being 37, I think there's different phases that I've gone through. This personality concept is that ultimately you can't change your personality, but as a person you can grow and you can see the world differently, but you'll never see it through a different filter other than your personality that you've already developed. So here's a realization I've come to, thanks to my brother-in-law Tom, is that ultimately I've always been a judgmental person. And perhaps that's never really going to go away, but what's changed is what I'm judgmental about. And I think I can be at peace with this, knowing this. See, I think for all of us, when we're younger, we tend to judge people on more superficial things like how they look. Or maybe as we get a little bit older, how much money they make. How cool they are, right? Those are things that people tend to judge each other on. But for me, it's different because I'm past all that. That's all BS to me. What I judge people on now is their psychological perceptions of things. So when I can find another human being who's on the same page as me and who realizes that the ability to be offended or insulted, that's always a choice 100% of the time, just like forgiveness is a choice 100% of the time. When I can find other people who understand that, accept it, and live through it, that's a person I have a lot of respect for. Because most people are unwilling to do that. Most people want to give emotional control to other people instead of taking that for themselves. So I think it's hard for me to find people that I truly respect like that. But I think I can think of a few people in my life that are that way. But ultimately, I think it reinforces this concept to me that, Nick, you are rare and that you're able to see the world this way. And this is a good teaching for people who are not as secure as you. And it makes sense why people want to hear you talk about this, because ultimately, again, this whole concept of hair loss is just a trigger for the insecurity issues that so many people are facing. So I guess what I'm saying out loud, even though it feels a little bit uncomfortable to say it, is that I am very judgmental. And I think that's what's gotten me through life, is knowing that if I can see myself as psychologically superior, it helps me help the other people get to where they need to be so they can become more like me. Because we can all agree, no matter what the hair loss situation is, if you can be more confident, that's still going to put you in a better place, right? And I think that's a commodity that a lot of you see in me that you are wanting. So I think we're all judgmental, but I think it's a matter of what we judge people on. And what I keep saying is, you're reducing my hair loss. What I'm saying is, you're in a place in your life where you're reducing people to physically how they look as if that's their value. And I'm saying I'm way past that. I'm judging people on a totally different scale, which is psychology. I'm judging people on their ability to perceive what actually matters in life. And for the people who can see the truth, I think, hey, that's my people right there. But because I'm used to being alone and not having friends and not needing that, I can continue being the lonely teacher, the lonely professor. It makes me special. It gives me a commodity. I feel a lot more better. More better. I have an English degree and I just said more better. But hey, that's the fear of being wrong, right?